Sound test, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, it's working. Whew. What a week. What a week. I'm glad it's over. It's quite busy. To put it mildly. So it wasn't quite the clusterfuck that I imagined it would be yesterday. It was pretty much exactly what I've been telling him to do for ages. It's like when you have like a big massive consignment, just make sure it's all in one spot and go through it and find everything. And that's basically what we did today. We got most of it done. But yeah, so I'm now tired as hell and it's the weekend and they just had to do it to us on a Friday. Would have been so much nicer if they did it on Monday, because at least that way I wouldn't have to pass out in about 2 hours. But yeah, okay, so talking house with me. Yeah, so like the sort of shopping that I might do. Like, I do have a little bit of weight on me. I'm not exactly the skinniest fella. I actually used to be like rake thin though. Like I grew up swimming every day, snorkeling, riding bikes, all that sort of stuff. I was highly physically active, and I only started to put weight on when I started working in telecommunications, because like I was in a car every day. That's basically, we'd just drive around and service different customers and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, like when you're driving around, where are you gonna have lunch? You're just gonna go to like the local cafe or whatever, like whatever cafe is in the area that you're actually working. And so that's kind of what we used to do. One of the best things about it, it's like the whole "I've been everywhere, man" sort of stuff, because like literally in some cities I have been everywhere because servicing all the customers and stuff. Like yeah. So you go to visit all the different cafes, like different coffee shops. And, like, it was kind of a good life. But that's when my metabolism sort of like died from being highly physically active. I used to go for 60-kilometer bike rides. And yeah, so here we are. And now I work as a forklift operator, so it's just like same sort of stuff, you know, like you're on the forklift all the time. But I checked my step counter before I left work today, and it was over 10,000 already. So like over 10,400 steps. And that's for someone who actually has to sort through pallets all day and like it's physically active anyway, and then walking 10,000 steps on top of that, you do get quite tired. So yeah, basically just talking house. So how do I keep myself fed? Surprisingly, it's actually quite an expensive endeavor. One of the main reasons that I work is because in my past I've been homeless before, and I actually also grew up in like different types of foster care. I used to live in like families' households, like they will change regularly. It was kind of a fun time. So like I could be staying at one person's house for 2 weeks, and then going 200 kilometers away and staying in another person's house for like 3-4 weeks. Then staying in another house for a couple of months. And it was an interesting period of my life. But yeah, the main reason why I work is to actually make money so that I can afford to spoil myself, which is like it's not spoiling yourself. Like a lot of people might consider it normal, but it's still expensive. And I can't scoff at the money that I earn, because I do earn like a decent pay packet. Like I make quite a fair bit of money, but it does go because like if you're on welfare or something like that, like you have to make do with the bare minimum, and you can do that, but it just completely sucks. And when you're working, it's like, well, yay, I can now do what I want to do. So I do spoil myself. I drink a fair amount, which is obvious. These are little fat lambs, right? They're cheap. This is kind of how I save money, because I drink all the time, and these guys have got about 8 standard drinks in one of these. And just to give you a bit of an idea, I've already had that. And that's before I even sit down on my chair, even on my computer. I've got my cat to look after, all sorts of other household shit that I do before I even sit down. And that's kind of what I do at my house. Like, I'm not like a noisy, annoying alcoholic or anything like that. It's just that I need to drink a little bit to spin down from the hectic nature of my work. Because, well, it's full on. And, every pick is an investigation. You know, there's no easy way about it. It's just how it is with, like, the stuff I work with. So anyway, get onto it. I also had a, I like to call them pocket rockets. They're like, the American serve Jack Daniels cans, which are like that big, and they've got 2 standard drinks in them. They are so nice. I love them. I love having, like, just a little bit of Jack every now and then. But to give you an idea, 1 can of that in Australia costs $8, right? If you're in any other country, so if I look up Jack Daniels, 200ml, 2.0, there we go, pocket rocket. That's what I call a pocket rock. 10% ABV. How much do you think one of them might cost? $7 a pop. And usually most stores charge about $8 a pop. This, because I buy it on special 2 at a time, 2 of these, 8 standard drinks per, at 8%. Got guarana in it, and blood orange flavouring and all that sort of stuff. 2 of these for just under $13. So if I get a bit of Jack Daniels like that, that's basically spoiling myself. Because I do drink a little bit every day. Usually when I'm streaming I drink more. Because like that's when I'm letting my hair down. But like typically I drink a little bit every day. And to keep the costs down, I try to avoid buying overpriced alcohol, because like all alcohol is overpriced except for in Australia. If you know the right suppliers, you can get decent booze basically for like a fair price without having to resort to drinking cheap $3 bottles of wine or whatever. And I'm sure even in America and overseas, like you guys know all about that. It's like what's the cheapest thing you can get? But anyway, so one of the things that I love eating, and I'm like a patron of my local like Asian / Indian spice stores. I love Buja mix. That's what I stack on all the time. So that's a hot version of it. It's nice. It's healthy. Relatively healthy. It's got a bit of fat in it. It's mostly carbs. So the carbs are bad, especially if you're keto or whatever. This has got like peas, chili, peanuts, bazan, whatever that is, spices, curry leaves, canola oil, food color, tartrazine, E102, food color E132 and E133. But you'd be surprised. These things are pretty good bang for your buck in terms of snack food. I'd much rather buy packets of this than buy packets of chips, because I mean at least it's got peas and stuff in it. And I like spice. I love spicy food. And like anything with spice in it. I wouldn't call these spicy. Like it says hot, but like to an Australian it's hot. And so like an Indian they'd be like, yeah, it's not hot. But that said, when I do want to go all out for snack food, I get these one, which is a Sri Lankan mix. Now, Sri Lanka, if you know anything about Sri Lanka, they fucking love their spicy food. And this is the same thing like beans, peas, chili, peanut, cashew nuts. It's got cashews in it. Spices, curry leaves, chicken, is that chickpea, sorry. Garlic and ginger. Now this stuff is the bomb. Love it. Right? I wish they sold this in supermarkets. But they don't. So that's the reason why you've got to go to like Asian or Indian spice stores and all that sort of stuff to get it. And I love supporting them because like Australia's a very multicultural country, and like you don't find the best stuff at like in the supermarket, but you do find some good stuff, but not much. Other things I might have also got from the same place, things like I got this a couple of days ago. I usually make my own chili oil. I use Korean red chilies to do it, but like this one is you can see it's leaked a little bit because it's got the oil on the side of the bottle, which is even better because I know it's been sitting there for ages developing flavor. Made in Hong Kong, so not ghetto oil from China. Don't buy anything like an oil-based product from China. Just saying. So this has got 9% chili in it, and the rest of it's soybean oil. Nice chili oil, and you can tell from the color of it, it's not like, my camera doesn't really pick it up. It's not like the reddest stuff. If you use like Korean chilies and your own like oil to make it, it's even better. But I find that it saves me a bit of time when I'm cooking, because I eat so much spicy stuff. Like I live off spicy food, that having chili oil to hand, and this is 400 mils of the stuff, is great. You mix it in with dipping sauces, seafood, different like dipping seafood sauces. I make up my own like cocktail sauce and stuff like that usually, and it's like it will always have like chili oil in it. So I go through a lot of that. And of course you got like your like mushroom flavored dark soy sauce. This is Chinese, so it's probably got like all sorts of like weird like so it's got water 34%, soybeans 24%, sugar, salt, wheat flour, extract of mushroom. And I know from the way that they make Chinese for $4, by the way. I know from the way that they make Chinese soy sauce in like an industrial sense, they usually use a chemical to extract the stuff from the soybeans to make it, and it's like it's a shortcut for making soy sauce. It's not like Japanese soy sauce. And that's why I still buy tamari, which is proper. I'll use this for cooking, but if I'm dipping, like if I'm eating dim sum or something like that, I will use this sometimes, and I'll use tamari the rest of the time. But most of the time I'll use tamari. But it's great with dim sum because of the mushroom flavor and everything like that. It's good for cooking in bulk. So I usually, like, I'll use that. Stuff like this one, this one cost me $6. So it's like a multi-use seafood curry mix for like cuttlefish, prawns, squid, fish, all that sort of stuff. And it's coriander, fennel, cumin, lime, tamarind, chili powder, salt, palm oil, garlic, ginger, cinnamon, dill, curry leaves, rampa, which is something you don't find in the good curry mixes in your supermarket. Like, you gotta go to a decent spice store to get the right stuff. And lemongrass. So la rampa is a oh yeah, I should probably mention that, like, there we go. So those are the cans that I was talking about before. Like little pocket rockets. They're about that big. They're good. So I've got rampa, herb, pandan, like pandan root. So in Sri Lanka it's called rampa, but yeah, pandan is like really good. And so like a good seafood curry, because I love making like seafood soups. So like I make a soup base using bonito and stuff. Like I make like a dashi broth, and like I'll use carrots and like different types of vegetables and stuff to make like a really nice clear, like sort of consomme almost style soup. And the fish basically only stays in it long enough for it to cook and impart a little bit of flavor to it. But I pre-flavor most of it using like proper like dashi style Japanese stock. I love fish soup. It's so good. And like just chucking a teaspoon of this stuff in turns it into like a seafood curry soup. Or you can like use pasta or rice. Different ways of like flavoring it. Another good one would be this stuff, which is there's no way to actually translate what it is. You just have to know what it is, right? So this stuff is basically hot broad bean paste. So you know how in right, it's a paste, right? It's a little bit chunky to it. It's like a broad bean salsa, but it's hot. It's got chili, broad beans, salt, wheat flour, ginger, garlic, soybean oil, spice, monosodium glutamate, nice, and potassium sorbate. Now, I actually use a fair amount of MSG in my cooking. But like this broad bean paste here, if you want to add depth and like that silky like mouth feel to sauces, like dipping sauces and stuff like that, use this stuff, because the broad beans, it's a spicy beans basically, but it's I mean, look at that. Like, that is the good stuff, right? Australian cooking is like, it's weird. Like, you go to a supermarket, you don't find stuff like this, but a lot of Australian households, because of how multicultural our country is, you can find this stuff, like, relatively easily. $4, right? I'm sure you could buy that anywhere else for like $1, depending on where you live. But also, like in my freezer, I've got like dried salted anchovy, which is like ikan bilis, which is typical stuff. But the one I get uses Japanese anchovies, even though it's salted and dried like ikan bilis. So it's not the same as like Japanese salted anchovies or dried anchovies, because they boil it first and then they salt it, which is different. These ones they just salt it, but it's close, and it's I'll nom on that as like a snack food, and like because all you got to do is like you got to pack it in the freezer. You just pull out a couple of nibblies and you can nibble on it, right? You got your anchovies and stuff like that, and you can use that to like flavor different types of sauces and soups, and it imparts a lot of flavor and salt. So you like when I'm cooking, I don't add salt to anything I cook. Like you got soy sauce, broad bean paste, ikan bilis, all that sort of stuff. Like I don't need to add anything in terms of like spice mix. I do have a spice cupboard that is this high by that wide by that deep. That's basically jar after jar after jar after jar of spices and herbs. So I use different types of herbs all the time in my cooking. I'll start listing off some of the typical European ones. Fennel seed, coriander, which is Asian actually, like coriander, rosemary, thyme, parsley, dill, tarragon, marjoram. Did I say marjoram already? I love marjoram. And I use these all to different effects when I'm actually cooking. Like marjoram will be like straight up with lamb all the time. Thyme, rosemary, lamb. I herb and spice everything up to the max. So I'm not like a Roman, so like I don't overspice. But like with different types of meat and stuff, depending on how I'm cooking it, and like even different like pasta dishes and everything. Like I get so much nutrition from eating herbs, and I eat all that stuff all the time. Like this is just like a couple of condiments and stuff that I use in my cooking. So, and I actually do know how to cook. My older brother was a chef, and not a cook, a chef. And on top of his many other skills, where if he wasn't using the drugs and shit that he was, he might be a much better person for it. But yeah, like he was... But anyway, he taught me how to cook, and I taught him how to cook, because like I used to cook for myself, from a very young age. I made all the food that I ate because I didn't really trust my family very much, and I suppose that might be a like an idiosyncrasy or something. But when people offer me food, I have to trust you a hell of a lot to eat it, because like I've grown up in an environment where there could be anything in it, and yeah. It's kind of it's one of the sad things, really. But like, I really love cooking, and I do all my own cooking. So, another few things I might have bought today. Like, this is kind of what I'll like eat for the week. I don't do this when I'm making like straight rice dishes. So like if I'm eating something that's like has rice on the side or whatever, I don't resort to using packets. I usually cook it myself, but it's a nice like shortcut. It makes it so much easier, because I've got a 1300 watt microwave. It's a good microwave. It's a big one, and for me to cook a packet of rice only takes me seconds. It says 90 seconds on the pack. I can do it in 60 seconds in my microwave. And so like Indian style spiced rice, right? I might use that as a side for like different types of curries and stuff like that. Like if I'm in a rush after work when I'm really tired, rather than cooking up a whole batch from scratch, just chuck that in. It's good enough quality. And I never ever buy it unless it's on special. So like normally the price is about like $3.50 a packet or something like that. But like if I can get it on special for about $2, I'll buy like 10 of the fucking things. And so like tomato and basil. Again, like it means I don't need to use sun-dried tomato or basil to go with it, but I only use these types of rice when the recipe calls for a type of rice that's dry and not sticky. So like if I want to cook like sticky rice or like fluffy like rice, or like Japanese style like short or medium grain rice for like sushi or any sorts of like if I'm eating rice with chopsticks, which I use a lot. I've got a set. I have my own chopsticks. A lot of people don't realize this. Like Australia's pretty multicultural, right? I can eat using chopsticks. And I basically, if it's like sticky rice or like Japanese rice, I'll eat it using chopsticks. But if it's something like this, then obviously it's like a fork. And I use that as a shortcut in all my recipes, because it just saves so much time. Obviously you got the good old lemon juice. It's like, why have to squeeze your own lemons or buy your own lemons, man? Just buy lemon juice. It's so much quicker and easier. And like milk. And of course, one of my favorites, red eye. You don't find, like, back before energy drinks were a thing, and like even while Genki drinks in Japan were a thing, because that's where energy drinks come from, is it's actually Japan, and Red Bull comes from Asia, believe it or not. They used to be like little Genki drinks, like little vials, and you just drink it like a Yakult, right? And you know, that's kind of the thing. But like Red Eye has been around for 30 years. And I still drink the stuff. I prefer it over a Red Bull. It tastes so much better. Red Bull is kind of like, it's like matriculated cow testicles when you really think about it. This stuff, like, this hasn't even been in the fridge. I can drink it warm. So what else? I do love my seafood. Obviously, if I seafood, I eat it. And by the way, so we've got thawed large raw tiger prawns. I don't know what grade this is, but like this is like half a kilo of it. And our tiger prawns are great. Like, I'll pop it open because like the thing with fresh seafood, and like these are raw as well. In Australia, like especially where I live, you get the prawns literally straight from the farm. So like raw means raw, like fresh raw. Because all the tiger prawn farms and stuff are in the local area, pretty much. I'll find one that's nice. Yeah, some of them got their heads busted off because they haven't been handled properly in transit. But like, it's basically fresh. Alright, so like that's a good raw tiger prawn. See how it's completely black? Right? That's actually still fresh. Like, it's still actually fresh. And basically, the reason it's black is because it's just like a specifically type of farmed prawn that's like easy for the farmers to grow in Queensland prawn farms, and like it gives good yield, good size, and tastes great. I can eat banana prawns and king prawns and stuff like that, but nothing beats tiger prawns. So like I usually spoil myself once a week. I'll buy half a kilo. I eat half a kilo of prawns every week. There's another thing I eat a lot of. Halloumi. That whole block there is bigger than my head. That costs about 20 bucks. And fry it, cube it, chuck it in anything. Great. It works like paneer cheese in a curry, except for it's salty. So like it adds that salt and stuff to like the flavor of what you're cooking. Hey Rish, how you going? And yeah, like I absolutely love halloumi. Because like if you fry it up, you get like that crispy sort of texture like tofu. But like if you just cube it, you can chuck it into a curry or something like that, and it's like paneer cheese. Like so you can use it into like in any form of like Indian food. But you just got to remember that if you do use it, you don't need to use salt at all. And they've got some like nice Emmentaler cheese there as well. And that one is actually like handcrafted. So that's like a little... Thank you very much. And that one's kind of like just like I'll use that like on like either crackers or like I'll just nibble at it. And like if I'm feeling really fresh, like I might grate a little bit on some pasta or something. But I don't eat any bread. I stay away from bread. I don't eat bread at all. Now this is one of my favorite ones. This is like lamb. So that's basically a sirloin. And can you see the fat marbling in that? Like see like the grain to it. It's so good. Just basically talking about food. So like I'm showing you like my weekly shop, like what I eat. Because I'm kind of funny about food. Like the main reason I work is so that I can eat decent food. But like I'm not like your typical sort of like culinary expert or anything like that. I just like there's things that I enjoy eating. Like I'll cook that and I'll sear it and just like really hot oil, like 50 seconds aside, and then I'll cut it up, and like most of it will be raw, and like the blood and the juices and stuff in that, because it doesn't have like an actual like a one of those packs that soaks up the juices and stuff. Like literally it's completely fresh and hygienic, and like while I'm cooking it I'm like licking the packet. I'm a bit of a meatarian. I love my meat. And what's the other one I got here? Well, we got some fresh barramundi. Yeah, I was just talking about India before. So like what do we got? So well, we'll start off with like some like Sri Lankan bhuja, with all the chilies and stuff in it. But like also like when it comes to like the curry side of things, I like the like Sri Lankan spice. Like I like the hot curries. And what do we got? Got it somewhere. So like different types of like fish curries and stuff like that. Like I'll make a fish soup, and like pandan, and like different types of like coriander, fennel, like cumin, and all the sorts of like lovely stuff. I love spice. I absolutely love spice. But yeah, so like barramundi goes. The reason I bought the barramundi is because I'm actually going to make a fish curry with it, and that's going to be aha, there it is. Yay. So this is a like Sri Lankan one. It's like fish prawns, cuttlefish, squid, and it's got a. And I know that the names are different for different herbs. So like that's one thing about different cultures. So we got like coriander, fennel seed, cumin, lime, tamarind, chili, salt, garlic, ginger, cinnamon, dill, curry leaves, rampe, which is like pandan or rampa, depending on what you call it. Yeah, looky. Perfect. Yeah. What was it? Aloo tikki? I've had aloo tikki before, I think. And lemongrass. So I lean towards like the more Asian and like Sri Lankan sort of like side of like curries and stuff, but I still love Indian food. Like bhajis and I love that stuff. So that's like the fish and everything that I've got because I eat a lot of seafood and like there's some lamb and all that thrown in. And on this side, oh god, what do we got here? This is like just me cheating. It's like coconut and lemongrass, like chicken skewers, bacon, pork belly. So it's like pork belly but on a skewer. Chuck it under a grill for a little while, and just like the fat and everything. And, it's like Blackpink. I don't know what that is. Blackpink. Oh, a band. South Korean. Yeah. No, actually, I haven't heard any of their stuff. Like, I've heard a bit of K-pop, but not much. I mean, obviously, I watch like Japanese anime and everything, so I've heard a bit, but I haven't heard that one. It's like baby metal. Yeah. The mushies. I mean, like, the best thing about mushrooms, like fresh mushrooms, it's like you can just eat them all. Beautiful. It's like the most standard type, like, but that's why they're so good. And like for veggies, I might go with like onions. One of my favorites. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll check them out. There's like radishes. So like nice, fresh radish, like radish. My camera doesn't do red very well because of the lighting in here, but they're like pink red, and I can eat them raw too, even with a bit of like salt. And like one of the reasons I'm making this video is because I'm like a forklift operator, so you think like most forklift operators are just overweight, they sit on a forklift all day, like, but I eat a lot. Because I've always got to use my head. And carrots, epic in a fish soup, onions, potatoes, nice red chilies, garlic, fresh ginger, oh my god, and spinach. I love my spinach. Good spinach, fresh. Of course I could grow it in my own backyard, but yeah. I was growing rocket for ages. But like the ginger, oh my god, like harvest yields were low apparently. Look at that. That is so, like, it's not brown. It's like almost pink. Like it actually does have pink on it. Like that's that's fresh ginger. Like that's like literally at the start of the harvest season. It's really good. And yeah. So like that's kind of what's going to feed me for the next week or so. And of course, bit of red eye. Yeah. Oh, I love vegetables. I love meat and I love veggies. But I cook a lot of like uh like Japanese style food. So you have your veggies and you have your meat, and obviously lots of seafood. So, and like you go with the old staples like mashed potato and all that sort of stuff. Like I do make my own, yeah. And when I cook, typically it isn't like 3 meats and veg. No, sorry, like meat and 3 veg. I make like basically everything is usually like some form of spicy. I love spice, so like that's one reason why I've got but I do make my own chili oil and stuff. I make it from like Korean dried chilies, but like, you know, from Hong Kong. Oh, it's like a whole like I'll go through that stuff real fast. But yeah, now that I've put all that stuff out, I know that I've got a few things in there that I've got to get in the fridge, because they've been sitting there for a little bit, so I better quickly go do that, otherwise they won't last the week. Oh, cabana. Yeah, I love cabana. It's awesome. Hey, rookie. Yeah, so basically the only reason I work is because I went through like 2 bouts of homelessness, and I went through foster care and stuff when I was a young kid. I basically work to feed myself. Like, I enjoy food. I really love food. Like, and I cook all my own food, and like I try to make it fresh as much as possible, but obviously sometimes you don't have enough time to, so you got to take little shortcuts. Like, if I'm having rice or something like that, like I might cheat and use like tomato and basil rice. But like if I'm cooking like sticky rice or like Japanese style rice, I'll cook it from scratch and like use my own like sauce stocks and like soups and stuff like that. I eat a lot of soup, so it's like dashi broth. I think I already did. Mushroom! Mushrooms! Ha! They're not portobellos or anything like that, but I still think that like these are like ordinary mushrooms are like one of the most versatile mushrooms you can get. This is one I bit into before. Mm-hmm. Come. Oh, I could eat that all day. Delicious. No, I'm not a food vlogger. I do occasionally chuck up like videos and like photos and all that sort of stuff of the different types of food that I make. But I just like felt like it when I got home today. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to show people what I spend my money on. And like why some of it's so expensive. Because like, it's probably the worst thing about Australia. Like, if you want to get like halloumi cheese or whatever, like a nice decent block of it, because you fry it and like you cut slices. And they've got to be like semi-thick, like when you fry it. And or you could use blocks like you use paneer cheese in like Indian food. So like with like spinach and like curry and all that sort of stuff. And then you don't need to add any salt because it's halloumi cheese. Because halloumi's already got plenty of salt in it. But just that alone, that costs like 20 bucks. So like on the way home, it's like, you know, like 4 bags of shopping cost me like $140. But like everything that I eat is quality. Yeah, that's what I try to do anyway. And one of the worst things... Oh, shit! I didn't even... I'll save the... I've basically been saving the best for last. I have a really nice butcher in my suburb. Where is it? I'll find it eventually. Bear with me. Yeah, it's got to be in this bag. If it's not, I'm gonna rage. Hey, if you want to see even better, right? I'll bite a radish for you. Right? Like one radish. Raw. Fucking delicious. No salt, nothing. Eat this raw like an apple. Like, and that's how good they are. They're like sweet, spicy. Yeah, so I do have something really good in here. I'm just trying to find it. Oh. Ah, there it is. Okay. This is like... Unfortunately, I don't have any cabana. Like, usually, I'm not even lying, right? Sometimes for a meal, I'll eat crackers. And, like... So, like, cracked pepper, like, crackers. And I'll eat that with, like, cabana and cheese. And, like, that will be my meal for the day. And I only eat one meal a day. Right? But, like, that's the thing. That one meal a day I eat is always good. This one. That tiny little bag there of rump. That's a lamb rump. So like lamb rump. $40 a kilo. That one little bit there. I'm just gonna chuck that onto a... Oh man, I want to start licking it. I'm gonna chuck that onto a frying pan and just really hot oil. Just sear the outside so the inside's still basically raw. And like just eat it like a hamburger. The caveman style. One hunk of lamb rump. And it's like, oh man. Like the butcher we've got here in my suburb is, they're pretty damn good. They have all the good shit. And that'll be like my meat for like 1 or 2 days. But yeah. So vegetables, meat, mostly like Asian influenced like spices and like Indian and Sri Lankan spices. And I've got a spice cupboard that's like that by like that, and it's full. Like every single square inch is covered with different bags of spices like Korean red chilies, ginger, coriander, cumin, dill, rosemary, marjoram, thyme, paprika. I have like 3 different types of paprika. I have like hot paprika, smoked paprika, and ordinary paprika. And like all the different sorts of like Asian herbs, like Szechuan peppers, Szechuan peppercorns, which is like these guys. Unfortunately, I can't show Blackpink like live because that would get me like a content ban. But it's like Szechuan peppercorns. Those things are so good. They're like chilies, except for it's like lemony. They're related to citrus, so it's lemony and spicy, and it makes your whole mouth go numb. So it's like when you're eating a radish, how it makes your mouth go like a little bit numb. But like especially if you get like Szechuan pepper oil. And Fifi would know all about this. Like that's one reason why I got along with her is because like she grew up with this stuff. But yeah, like the Szechuan pepper, like you can get like one little kernel and chew on it, and it tastes like a little bit like a lemon burst, and it doesn't taste spicy at all. And then your mouth just starts tingling all over and starts like going numb, like. And you combine that with like spicy food, like Korean dried chilies. Oh man, I love my Korean dried chilies. So that's the Japanese one. That's a good rich boy. That's fine. Enjoy yourself and good luck. But like dried Korean chilies, like they're almost purple like these Japanese ones. Like if you know like where to get them, and like they're not like red, like that, like that's just like that looks so dull, like the color of it. And like these Chinese ones, like they're like a little bit red. Oh yeah, it's a snack. That's it. I eat it like just as a snack. But like it's a high quality snack. And so like these chilies, like that's almost better because that's like oh no. Okay. It's playing games with me. It's like open image and new tab. Ah, there we go. So like that's red, right? Like that red color. But like then you got like the if you know where to get them, like the Korean ones, they're more like purple. Like a much darker color. I could even run and grab a bag of it. Like, I'll be right back. Whew. I couldn't find the chilies. I kind of know where they are, but it'll take me a while to find them. I got some like dried ones that aren't like all shredded and everything. So I'll just pop it in this bag. So these ones aren't done up yet. I am still a small child at heart. So, like that's... They've been sitting in my cupboard for a while now. These ones. But like you can sort of tell the difference a little bit. Because like the color that they've got is like so much more intense. Like it's so dark that my camera nearly can't pick it up. And I get bags of the stuff that's already pre-cut. It's got no seeds in it. And like turned into dried chili flakes. And it's not like chili flakes where it's got seeds and it's like chili flakes. It's like, it's basically just dried pepper that's been run through like a shredder. And it comes out and it looks, it's like purple. It's like purple glitter. Almost. And then we've got like juniper berries. So like I've got all the like ingredients for like Chinese hot pot. I've already used like half a bag. I make my own hot pot. And like star anise. Shitloads of this stuff, man. And Szechuan pepper. Yo. Whole thing. I actually bought some more fresh the other day. I'm like, I just realized I had this in my cupboard. It's like I didn't even need to buy more. But like, you have to go through this and like de-seed it, because the stuff that they export to Australia isn't as good as like, oh man, that smell. Oh, it's still good. I can still use that. I'm gonna have to start using it. But yeah. So like I do eat good food. Like I eat one meal a day. I drink like a fucking horse. Yeah. But like the kicker is that I eat good food. That I spend too much money on like good booze, because like drinking's bad for you. Okay. Did I like mention do you remember Red Eye? Like before they had like energy drinks and like V and like Red Bull and stuff like that. The real deal, right? But yeah, I better quickly start putting some of this stuff away. Otherwise my half kilo tiger prawns, my Australian barramundi with skin on, which I'm gonna make a fish curry with, and all my other like various meat sort of things might spoil. But I shall be back in about 2, 3, 4 minutes, depending on how long it takes me to throw everything into the fridge, because like literally when I put stuff in the fridge, I throw it into the fridge, and I find it a couple of weeks later, in some cases, looking like a biological experiment gone horribly wrong. I do generally eat everything that I put in my fridge. I try to, because like you grow up like not having much food and everything, and like as I said, like the reason why I work is so that I can eat like a king. Like that's my primary motivation. And it'd be nice to own my own house, but I'll probably never be able to do that. So in the meantime, I'll just enjoy like I have my own house. Basically, that's kind of what I do. But like that lamb there, I'm gonna eat that thing fucking practically raw, and then I'm gonna lick the plastic bag it was in dry. I'm kind of like a Maasai or something in Africa, where they bleed their cows. I'd do that if I had a cow. But anyway, I'll be right back. Did I mention I really love lamb? Like, lamb is my favorite meat. Oh my god. Okay, all my spices and stuff can wait because that'll be fine. I'll chuck that in with the star anise, but yeah, it's just gonna have to sit there. Oh, there's the back. These like freezer bags to store most of my herbs. So like when you look inside my my spice rack, like my spice cupboard, it's like a big massive bags. And yeah, this is probably one of my other favorite things. It's more of like an Asian thing. Like a lot of people don't really get it, but you got this. It's like fried dace, and there's no liquid in the can. It's just like dried fried dace with salted black beans, and like you mix this, you get like they cost about $3.50 or whatever, and it's basically goldfish. It's like eating goldfish or carp. It's like carp. It is carp. That's what it is. And you just mix it with rice, and there's enough umami and oil and stuff. You like one of these with like a big packet of like I don't know, like enough rice for 2 people to eat for a meal. Like one of these, and you just mix it through and break it all up and everything, and it's like Chinese people who grew up in the country and they never had enough money to actually eat like decent fresh food and all that sort of stuff all the time, but they'd just buy one of these things to like make like a food that would get everyone through the night. And so like it's got that nostalgia value for a lot of Asians, and like this is one of my favorites. I absolutely love eating it. Goldfish. I brought one to work one day. It's like, yay, goldfish. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's the purple stuff. Like that purple color right there. That's real dried chili. That's good chili. So it's like, it's almost purple, like it's not quite purple. But like some of it is. Oh, there's my cat. But yeah, that's basically me going on and on about food. No. I'm actually using a fried dace tin as an ashtray. Meow. Off you go. I've been talking about food so much that my cat just wants food now. The butt rub. As soon as I go to bite his tail, it starts moving. He knows what I'm like. Alright. Soon, Tig. Soon. Okay, so yeah, that's basically the end of the Talking House stream. Now should I get into playing some actual games and stuff? I think I'll do Battlefleet Gothic. Because, yeah. I mean, it's Friday. I'm not too tired, but I am pretty tired. I don't want to use my head as much as I'd be using it, and oxygen not included. Plus, I'd probably get really drunk. I'll just put it that way. So, adios, la noche, arrivederci, sayonara, ciao, goodbye, see you soon.